Hello. Thanks for having me back. What's up, gentlemen?
And we also have a new panelist, Miss Rain Lee. How you
Hey
doing?
guys.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How
Yeah.
y'all doing? What's
Feels
been
good
going
to be
on?
here.
What's been
It's a
going
pleasure.
on?
Pleasure.
How y'all doing this evening on this Juneteenth right here? It's definitely Juneteenth, so we're gonna put that out there.
Yes,
Right.
feeling beautiful and black and beautiful.
Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
in Harlem, uptown, where the Black
For
Renaissance
Harlem.
began for Juneteenth.
Whoop,
Uptown,
whoop.
uptown.
I know it's a vibe out there right now.
I
Oh man.
love the vibe.
You love the vibe?
And
I,
right, and I live in North Carolina. Well, I'm originally from Jersey, but I live in North Carolina. And it's interesting the dynamic because I've been in North Carolina for about 6 years now, six,
Yeah.
7 years. So the dynamic, put it this way, the South is polite, but New York is gonna embrace you if you get what I
yeah,
mean.
I get yeah. I'm in South Jersey. It's like that out here. It's
Right.
totally different worlds. Like they're nice.
Exactly.
It's just different. Like I had to get used to them being so nice,
Right.
but it's just different. It's different. It's totally different.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Okay.
Like we're gonna
Okay.
give attitude.
With that being said, with the
Right.
niceness and embracing and
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I
want to,
like that.
want to, I want to jump right into it. Like being that it is Juneteenth, I want to hear from
Okay.
each of y'all what like Juneteenth mean to you, Kima.
Well, for me, if I could be totally honest, I'm still doing my research on like what the true foundation of Juneteenth means, even though we do know it's a day that slaves were freed officially. But I have to dive more deeper into it. Like, yeah, I'm proud that we have our own day, holiday, but at the same time, I kind of feel like it's treated like kind of like Black History Month. So it's like a thing.
Mm.
So it's like this one day is embraced, and I feel like the Mayo community was just like, here you go, take this
Okay.
day, like Valentine's Day. So
The
it's I'm
Mayo
on the
with
fence
the
with it.
Mayo
I
community,
went, huh?
the Mayo community. Like I caught that the first time you said the Mayo
Yeah,
community. No, I'm
the
sorry. Go
Mayo,
ahead.
because I'm kind of I'm half of that generation, but my dad is mixed, but whatever. But all in all, it's just like Juneteenth. Like I embrace it, I welcome it, but I'm still trying to do some education behind it, so I could truly know what I'm embracing and celebrating. Because
Okay.
this is new for us.
Right.
Okay.
People
Okay.
just see it as a Black holiday, so yeah, that's how I see it. But yeah, happy Juneteenth.
Miss
Happy
Lee.
Nah.
Juneteenth. Would Juneteenth? I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like seriously, Juneteenth means nothing to me. I feel like being black is more than just having a day. And I feel like we've been given little bits and pieces, like Juneteenth and all that stuff to like pacify us in a way. I want to get back to like the spirit of being black and the soul and the
Mm.
like just being connected like as a unit. And I feel like we have it in us, but it's just been like we've been so programmed to not value ourselves or see the value in us. Like we are the top commodity, and everybody knows it, but us. It's like I'm just waiting for us to just get the memo and know that we are what's popping and like
Right.
actually pop. So
Right.
Juneteenth is I'm not really caught up in a day. I'm not really caught up in like Black History Month or Juneteenth or whatever. Like I just want to get back to like the spirit of just being black and being connected. Regardless of where we're from, what countries we're from, whatever. I want the total unity.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm with
definitely,
that.
I definitely get it. I definitely get both perspectives, and I'm like in the mixed array with that. You know what I mean? First, like I celebrate and participate in anything dealing with us holistically. Like
Absolutely.
Hmm.
just dealing. I don't care if it's a day, a week, a month. You see what I'm saying? And the difference between Black History Month, which is 28 days, depending on the year, the calendar fall, you know what I mean, in February, and Juneteenth dealing with one day. And it's crazy how that one day is considered a holiday, but not the entire month of Black history. That's not a holiday. That's just something to be recognized.
Like just to add on to what you're saying, like I don't understand how we could have a holiday when there was okay, like for me, right? If you're gonna give me a holiday, that's like okay, we're gonna celebrate because something like you were wronged in a way, then you were righted, and now we're gonna celebrate. We were never righted. We were never compensated for slavery. So like what are we celebrating exactly?
Right.
Right. It's just like a thing of like, here, stop crying.
Right.
They like
Yeah, it's
holidays.
like
days
you
off
really
work.
didn't fix
That's how
the
I look at it.
problem.
Yeah, right.
So you like, do you think it's like almost like a spit in the face, or like a carrot dangling over the rabbit head? Like, take this and be happy.
Right. Like
Yeah,
be happy,
absolutely.
but why? What? Like it's exactly that. Be happy, but why am I happy? Like my people were never compensated. Like we still are in lack. So what are we exactly celebrating?
Right.
We're still
Like you have to
suffering.
right your wrong before we make up and have a party.
Yeah, no, listen, we discussed this a little bit earlier where I told him, I said, what we really need and what they'll never give us is reparations. And I said,
Exactly.
now I said, even though a lot of us will mismanage the money, and that's fine, but it's our decision to mismanage. You feel me? Like,
Exactly.
give it to us. And there will be some people that will be responsible and do the right thing, or at least try to do the right thing. Everybody not going to just go crazy. Like, we going to give a lot of it back, a lot of it. You feel me? But that's our decision. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the one thing that they'll never do, because at that point, they know that people will feel compensated, and the accountability that they'll be showing at that point, I don't think they ever want to show that level of accountability. I think they just want to say, you know what? We'll keep giving y'all this, and small pockets of people will be okay with these things, and we can keep pacifying those people. You feel me? But the large majority is never going to be happy. So we're not going to try to make them happy. We're just going to try to pacify these small pockets and make them happy. And those people are the ones that's keeping us back from really going or getting what we want, because they seem to be satisfied with the crumbs that we get.
The bare minimum.
Right. You feel me? So that's the one thing that got to change. Now, I want to say this. Before we came on air, Miss Rain Lee asked me a question. Now that we're on air, I want to ask her to ask that question again. And I think me and Loosh can answer first, and then you ladies can respond to what you feel we're saying, or you guys can give us your answer to the question, how you feel. But go ahead, Miss Rain Lee, ask away. Listen,
okay. I wanted to know, what do you feel the state of what is the state of Black love? Like, what is your like, how do you feel the state of Black love is? Like, where does it stand right now as of today?
Mm-hmm. Did you want to go?
Yeah, I
go first. This is my first time hearing the question. It's a dope question.
It is. I go first. First, and I'm gonna try to keep it brief. I think right now it's kind of in a state of emergency. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say it's in full panic, but I believe it's in a state of emergency. I believe I believe outside things have more influence on relationships than the things that's happening in the relationship and the actual relationship. I feel like the standards are extremely too high. You feel me? Like, not just for men, but for both parties. You feel me? I feel like we expect a lot out of each other, and I feel like we really don't want to put the effort that we expect. I feel like we don't want to put that same amount of effort forward sometimes. So it's miscommunication. It's a lot. Listen, it's a lot of things, but I feel like people that are are or were in long-term relationships, have like stability in their relationships, and they kind of understand each other in that dynamic. The newer relationships, I want to say like 1 to 3 years in, those are the rocky ones. Those are the ones that have to sustain a lot of things, a lot of situations that probably one of the parties haven't gone through before, so it gets kind of rough. But I will say I believe it can be fixed with communication. I believe if we listen to I believe if we listen to each other and not like the internet or outside voices, I feel like we'll be okay. But I feel like it can be fixed. But right now, it's in a bad spot because our attention be on the wrong stuff. And the stuff that we get thrown at us daily, the images, the fake happiness that we see on other people. Like remember when we were younger, we only knew about people in our immediate community. Now you can see how happy this lady is in the south of France every day riding on her yacht, and all you see is blue water and her smiling. So now you like, damn, France, blah blah blah. So it's crazy. So the perception of people's perception of relationship is just messed up. You feel me? And I feel like we need to take a step back and understand what's good for us ain't good for everybody, and every relationship is different. I try to keep that short. I try to keep that short.
Nah, you did that. Okay.
Well,
I love that. Yes.
well said. Well said.
Yeah.
I totally agree with it. It's definitely in a state of emergency. It's definitely in a state of emergency, and it's also the primary state where it should be is the state of mind. You know what I mean? Like black love needs to primarily exist in a state of mind. Like if you think it, you can see it, you can feel it, you can manifest it. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause that mind thing is primary. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have that black love up here before you can have it in here. You know what I mean? It's reason why the mind can't feel and the heart can't think. It's the reason why the neck separates the head from the heart. That black love actually has to exist now, most importantly, in the mind. Right. It has to be a mental thing. So if I see this in my black love, this is in my mind, I'll be able to manifest it and bring it to existence physically and through actions, because like we said earlier, like black is the attitude, but love is the action. You know what I mean? Like we gotta have it. Love is in action. It's a verb. It's positive procedures put into motions. But before you can act on anything, you have to have it up here to visualize. You gotta see what it looks like, what you want it to look like, what you want it to be. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's black love versus the man versus his homie or his brother, or his uncle, or his father. Black love versus his wife, his sister, his mother, his aunt, his niece, or et cetera, et cetera. It has to be the totality existence of black love, and I think it has to initially start in the mind. Because if it's in the mind, then you will understand why it is in a state of an emergency.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Like that's how I feel about it. About this thing, it's in a state of emergency. It's got to be in a state of a mind to realize it's in a state of emergency. And they don't know what to do with black love. No one, even us.
Because listen, it's easy. It's easier in theory than it is in practice. Like it's
everything.
It's not easy, bro. Like it's not easy. And like we just
why?
Because it's many variables. Now we can get into why, you feel me? But
we're gonna get into why.
Yeah, we could definitely get into why. And I mean, it's many variables, man. It's many different things. There's like it's many layers to that onion. It's many layers to that onion.
And the deeper you get into that onion, what? You're gonna cry. You see what I'm saying? This is why we can't. This is real shit. This is real shit.
But that's needed. Tears are needed though, a lot of times.
Yeah. And this is and I think black love need to be professed more by black men. More by black men, because one, you don't know 2, B, we wasn't taught how. And 3, we don't even give a fuck to even learn or know how.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, when
That's
it
the
comes
part.
to black men, we don't know how to put that out there without feeling like you bandwagon or you jock riding, or we would rather be a hater than to oppose to look like someone that you're giving flowers to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with women, it's easier for them because of they know how to express themselves. You know, because they're emotional creatures. Women are emotional creatures, and emotion is nothing but energy in motion.
Right.
We don't know how to deliver that. We weren't taught how to deliver that. And if you know how to deliver it, you weren't allowed to exercise it.
Mm-hmm.
You soft. Quit
Right.
that crime.
Right.
Quit that crime.
Now this leads into a question that I have for the ladies. Is your man or significant other opening up to you emotionally? Like, is that a safe place for him? Like because most men don't feel safe in actually communicating some things with their wife, girlfriend, fiance, significant other.
And if not, how can you make it a safe place?
Right. Like how do you make your husband or boyfriend or whatever feel that it's okay to open up and be vulnerable with you without them feel like they're compromising their ego or their pride or machismo or whatever it is we calling it these days? Like how do you make it so that it's welcoming for him to do that? Because that will help with communication in a lot of our relationships today. A lot of men are emotionally wound so tight and bound up at a spot where sometimes that release go negative, and not saying physically negative, but that can have a toll on us. You feel me? Sometimes. So, is it a safe space? And if not, how can men be assured that it's okay to open up to you guys?
Well, for me, I know I'm intentional, like any man that I encounter, that I'm creating a safe space for them, because I want to make sure I'm in a safe space with them. So one, I'm intentional about being an example of what a safe space looks like. So I am vulnerable to a certain extent. Like, I do share and I'm transparent, but I'm still have my boundaries. And also, I feel it's important to learn the person that you're spending time with. That whatever title or capacity they may be in, learn them. So I will know a lot of guys. Guys will be all bottled up, or you'll let out like a little inklet of emotion or whatever. And I think, and for me, I'll just make sure I'm not judging them. I'm not, I'm not going over my boundary. For instance, they may be sharing something and I'm not just trying to jump at them and give advice that wasn't asked, like just being a listener. So that's part of communication too, just really being a listener and not trying to take over the conversation, and just let them be, and I feel like that's a lot of times what men experience with women. They just can't truly be, because it could be many reasons. They probably dealing with a female that they probably feel like it's, she's this, so I got to make sure I match her energy. And, so I'm going to shy away to say, I like anime, or I like science stuff. And you know what I'm saying? All she is Birkins and cars and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I am really intentional about creating a safe space, because that's what I want. I know what I require from a man in order for me to feel safe. And for me, because again, once I feel safe, you just gonna know this is who I am. You're gonna get the good side, you're gonna get all of those sides. But I want you to create that safe space for me, that you'll allow me to do it. And I want that, and I want to be that for him. So if I do get a side of him that I'm not, I frown upon, or, if it's like negative, I will dive into that and communicate, like, okay, where's that coming from? I start sounding like a therapist. Not sounding like a
Mhm.
therapist, but I just want to understand. And
Right.
Yeah.
that's what I like with a lot of men, that you guys just want to be heard and just understood. Again, it's agree to disagree or whatever, but you just create a safe space for that open communication to happen. So from that's yeah.
Okay.
Cool, cool. I
Mhm.
like that. That's
Good.
dope.
Well
That's dope.
said. Miss Lee?
Exactly. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's two things I want to address. I'll address the question of how I try to make a safe place. Basically, it's just it sounds cliche and simple, but you just got to be the person you want. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Absolutely.
and I also feel like because we have been through so much trauma, and I'm talking about the black community, that we have to start to acknowledge that at the same time. We got to know that, we all kind of little effed up. You feel me? So
Yeah.
we got to start to educate ourselves on mental health. Have mental check-ins with your mate. You know what I'm saying? Where it's a safe place just to let stuff out. Maybe and talk to them, because like everybody was raised different. Everybody got different traumas. Maybe I can approach a certain person this way. The other person is not going to receive it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to just, work together and try different things and say, okay, when you're going through something, would you rather me, step aside for 20 minutes, let you gather everything up, your thoughts or whatever, or do you need me to dive right in and say, baby, tell me what's going on right now? Say we got to learn each other and not be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
put. Well
Right.
put. I think a lot of
And
that,
to it. Oh,
I think a lot of that has to do with body language. Because
Yes.
the way we don't know how to express ourselves. Like men, we're basic. I mean, we're simple but not basic. You know what I mean? We will tell you things and say things, and even without saying things. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it like that, but this is the way it has progressed to. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to a safe place, the number one fear of men and expressing ourselves is the fear of the weaponization when things don't go accordingly. We
Yeah.
fear what we say will be weaponized. We fear how our opening up will be weaponized during a heated debate, conversation, disagreement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? I think that initial fear of the weaponization plays a key part because it has happened on both parties, man or woman.
Absolutely.
So it's like the rear view mirror. Objects appear
right.
closer than what they actually are until you get out the car and see what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
like when we come to this standoff of disagreement, because it happens a lot. And what we fail to realize with the standoff of disagreement is actually a learning process.
Mhm.
Actually learning on the disagreement. You're actually learning how to agree on it, how to fix it, how not to just put band-aids on bullet wounds, et cetera, et cetera. Because
Mm.
in most relationships, we have to understand the key word, relate.
Right. Relate.
To relate. Relationships
Yeah.
now being based off and built off compatibility and not chemistry. Oh, she gotta look like
Mm.
this. He gotta make this. She gotta walk like this. He gotta be this high. That's compatibility, and I get it because the worst thing especially if you get into a relationship at our age or older, the worst thing we want to waste is time. I ain't
Right.
got time to be holding my farts in for another 6 to 7 months all over again. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Just fart.
Yeah, why you look? Why you gotta go to that though? Like, why that had to
because
be?
those are the minute things that
Oh,
make sense.
Oh my
Am I
god!
lying? Those
I
are
don't
the
know. Maybe he had to.
those are the minor things that make sense.
Hmm.
The things you try to hold back from displaying until you what get comfortable enough to release them.
Right.
But okay,
Mhm.
why are we doing this though? Like, I want to know what mold are we following? Because to go back to like the state of black love, I think that we've been trying to assimilate into like European culture, and we
Yeah.
don't realize that that's what we're doing. And I
Right.
feel like we need to get back to the basics of who we are originally. We love different. We move different.
Act
Like, stop
different.
trying to assimilate and try to make it look like this. Like, I feel like too many black people are trying to like have these white relationships or like
Right.
these white dynamics because
So
that's what we were taught that
that's
we
what we
have to
saw.
do.
That's what we
And we
Yeah.
got to unlearn that because it's not working for us.
Right. So what was the example that we ever had? Like another example. They coming up on these western shores of North America. The only example we had outside, and it's crazy because relationships lasted longer during slavery than it is right
Right. I was about to say that. Yeah. Yeah.
now. It is right now because of the imagination. The imagination, the things that we didn't have, we imagined it that we wanted to be. And when you know
Right.
the
Yeah.
words, you know I break down words, the etymology of words. So when you break down imagination, you have imagine or image a nation. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We imagine this image of a said nation that we bestowed in our household. And it lasts
Right.
longer, jumping the broom and getting married, etc., etc. Now that imagination has been diluted to fictional things like Ditch has said, to outside things that has nothing to do with at home.
Right.
We've seen
Right.
some smiles on the yacht or the friends, but we don't know what type of tears it took for them to smile that long. We just want that smile.
Son, and
Right.
it's the influence, man. It's the outside influence that is hurting the relationships, man. You can see some like before you only used to have to compete with people in your own neighborhood. Your wife will only see the milkman, the paper man, the mailman. Now, since she can
Barbershop
see, listen,
drivers.
since she can see
Yeah. Yeah.
any and everything that she wants, and it's being once the algorithms figure out that she likes that type of stuff, they're going to keep pumping that stuff in her face. And these things, and it's crazy because a weak mind would make a woman think that what they have is inferior to what's being.
Who's the blame on that? Dip, the internet or the wife? The internet or the significant other?
Son,
Who was the blame on that? You got to understand that if a snake is trained to bite you,
son,
and
but we
and it
ingest.
bites you,
I
do
feel
you
like
blame
we
the snake
ingest
or do you
things
blame
different.
you for petting the snake?
We ingest things different, man. Like I feel like, and don't take this any way, ladies. I feel like women are more impressionable as far as advertising than men are.
Oh,
You feel me?
absolutely.
That's why
No,
ladies
absolutely.
shop. Listen, that's why ladies
Yeah.
shop the most. That's why most things
Yeah.
are geared towards women. You feel me? Like
Well, you
they're
see,
more impressionable.
yeah, because a lot of it is emotionally connected because that's how women are.
Right.
I
So,
feel
and
like
yeah, and I
I
will
feel
also add to that a lot of times, like for what I see with women and what I feel, what's the issue? Like women don't truly know the essence of what they want because all they're doing is piecing together of what they want their ideal man to be, and that's big. Like it's largely influenced by what you see out here in media. But are they to fill the blame? Absolutely not, because these are grown women that can take accountability to want to unlearn, like sis said, the patterns that we, to unlearn things and to dive back into the essence of what Black love is, or what I want or what a Black man should show up.
Imagination, man. That imagination
Yeah.
is real, man. That
Yeah.
You was about to say something, Rain?
huh?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I was just gonna comment on what you talk about as far as women shopping and everything. It all goes down to patriarchy. Women are
Yeah.
shopping to look good to get men.
Whoa,
Women
whoa,
are
whoa,
trying
whoa,
to
whoa,
get
whoa,
men
whoa, no,
because
no, no,
men
no,
are
no, 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 no,
are in
no,
the
no,
position
no,
of
no, no,
power.
no, they are not.
Thank you.
No,
Yes, they are.
No, they
Yes,
are
we
not. Hold on, listen, listen.
are.
No, they are not. No,
We
they
are
are
not
not.
shopping to sit cute and they be like, oh, because we look cute. No, we are doing that for the men. Because
Exactly.
No. Hold on.
And
No.
who's putting those standards on us that we have to do that for the
Can
men?
can I say this one thing? Right, I'm gonna say this one thing. And y'all can say what y'all want to
I
say.
like where it's going, y'all.
Women do not do that for men. They do
okay.
that. They do that for other women.
Back.
And when I say other women, right? Listen, look.
Okay, you gotta
Women are secretly.
You gotta put.
Listen, hold on. Listen, women are secretly in competition with somebody somewhere, imaginarily, if that's a word, right? But women don't do that for us. You feel me? They get dressed, they post pictures. You know, most of the time when men get dressed, we don't take pictures or post pictures at all. You feel me? Like we just get dressed. And then y'all say we trying to be secretive. No, we don't look for that type of validation.
Yes. Right? Look, let me jump on that real quick. Pause, right?
Yeah, no, because that's for them. That's not for us. Don't try to throw that.
If you getting dressed, I feel like a lot of women got too caught up in being cute and forgot how to be sexy. You know what I'm saying? So when you're being cute for yourself and other women to, you know, like I'm gonna give you an example. You and your significant other can walk into could be at a bar or whatever, right? And another female who's attractive, women would go out their way to let that female know this man belongs to me, without even saying words or anything like that. Versus a man may see whoever another, if he's attractive man, we don't worry about shit like that. We're not gonna throw an arm around her, grab her. No, we don't do things like that. Women are more territorial than men.
And
I don't think so.
You don't,
really?
Listen, territorial, not possessive. Territorial. Men, we're possessive. Like we'll pee on it, and then like, it is what it is. My fragrance on it, my stamp on it.
Mark the territory. He didn't mean pee on it. Like,
No diddy.
Look, he didn't mean pee on it, ladies and gentlemen. He just
no diddy.
Mark his territory.
We're possessive because that's what we do by nature. This is ours, and we ain't gotta say nothing else. It's a constant reminder with women, like he belonged to me, he belonged to me, he belonged to me, because of the ratio difference, 1 to 17. Every one man is like 17 women, so they have to keep reminding the constant reminder of the territorial. That man belongs to me. That man belongs to me. That man belongs to me. That man belongs to me.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree. Like the majority, I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule. I'm personally not like that, but I can understand it. I mean, historically, men have been in positions of power. So I'm taking it a little back and to bring it back forward.
Right.
Women livelihood depended on who they married, right? So it's innately kind of in us now from doing it for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years that we are vying for a man's approval. Men are still the ones that are in power in the world today. So, but to also mention what you said as far as us women doing it for women now, I feel like now that things are a little bit more leveled out, women, you know, are pretty much independent, have their own, like, yeah, now we're doing it for us. Now we might be dressing for just, you know, so sis could see me look good, but initially it was to get men.
Yeah, initially,
I get that, but at the same time, we just have to get on the same playing field and realize that, like, the woman is not the prize, the man is not the prize, but each other is the goal.
Right.
Yeah, like, we have to start seeing the bigger picture.
Huh? Yeah, just that.
I said, like, even with Black love itself, like we're being very selfish in our approach to Black love. It's like, what can Black, like, how does it make me feel? But we don't realize that Black love is what is going to create a Black community, Black wealth, Black. You know, we got to see the bigger picture, and also realize that they not like us, and like stop trying to be like them. Stop trying, not like us. Like we have to disconnect.
Right.
We have to start doing our own things.
Yes.
Our own media. We need to really disconnect. Separate but equal. We need to go back to that.
Separate but equal. I
agree.
I was about to ask this question about segregation and integration. What are your views?
I feel like integration was the downfall of the Black community.
Yep. Yeah, integration was. I feel like it was a way to continuously regulate us and try to
Right.
control and regulate us
As,
and
as
break
my man
down
Dip would
and
say,
break
as my
down the
man Dip
black
would say,
community
And
and
break
break
down
down
the black community.
gatekeeping.
and
Yeah.
that's yeah. So we could become almost non-existent.
Right.
Yeah. And it's the portray and control and dictate and narrate a said story,
Right.
not our
Yeah.
story.
Right.
And we're
Son,
the
do you
authors.
understand? So listen, look, do you understand how good they are at playing the long game? Right? Look, by I mean playing the long listen, but when I say playing the long game, I mean listen, we gonna set this shit up for to run for to infinity and beyond.
But
Infinity
that's
and
what we
Yep.
was
beyond.
taught. That's how they was
Yo,
taught though.
but
We
listen,
don't we
but
don't we
son,
don't we
listen,
don't
it's working. You feel me? Look, it's
of
working. The
course
system,
it's
so look,
working.
the
Because
whole
we
system.
working it.
So every part of that system that they built and everything that they wanted it to do is still doing. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
Yep.
that shit is a well-oiled system. That shit, no matter how many monkey wrench, so if you throw a monkey wrench in the shit over there, it's gonna start pumping out double time over here. You feel me? So that shit
Mm-hmm.
be
Yeah.
like,
But allow it, son.
so,
That's you
no,
allow it
listen,
because
you
certain
can't.
certain monkey
So,
wrenches get thrown in the game that you can use to tighten up your game. You know what I
but
mean? It
no,
ain't got
but
to necessarily mess up the game. This is what it was extracted from us and
Hmm.
replaced was instant gratification. We
some,
don't
but
we can't see down the street.
right, but
That
like
shit
what
was
I said,
removed from us.
some, but like what I mentioned earlier, so they're gatekeeping certain industries in order for
Mm.
us to break into them. You feel me? Like,
Right.
and certain entities are built that way,
Hmm.
ironclad for no, in order to make sure that these things don't happen. So
Like what?
we,
Give me an example. Like what? Give me an example.
like me or you, will ever be able to take over any of these industries or do any of these things. You feel me? Like when we spoke before about how some companies, it's nepotism in most companies. You feel me? So
Mm-hmm.
for me and you, like in order, we would have to build our own business and still jump all of these hurdles in order to pass that shit down to our children. These
Mm-hmm.
people already own these companies. Their children could come be an intern and then work
Mm-hmm.
there and then inherit the whole company and pass that shit down for
So why is
generations
that?
and generations.
Why can't we do that now with all the tangible
They
resources, with all the
they're gatekeeping.
millionaires and
They're
billionaires?
gatekeeping. So they're gatekeeping these things, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Who is
They're
gatekeeping?
blocking
Them or us?
the system. So
The
that system,
system.
and that's what I said in the beginning. That's it. And I'm not
And who
blaming
is
them.
the
I'm not
system
saying it's
created
the
by?
man and all that shit. But that system, that shit is flawless, bro. That shit is created. It's so many arms to that system. Like law
Yeah.
enforcement is an arm to that system where they use that for another part. Like
What if I told you that
welfare and shit
was
is an
just a
arm to
replica?
that system. It's
What if
all
that
system.
system was a replica, though? What if that system that we speak about is only a replica from the original system that has been weaponized against us so we can
You know who?
see?
Listen, you know who they not gonna let replicate that shit? Us. They not gonna let us replicate,
Of
even if it
course,
was
because we
replicate.
own it.
And they did what they do best. They took it.
But
Yeah.
but what like they have us tied up, but they literally have y'all ever seen like this meme and it's a horse and the horse is tied up to like a plastic chair, but the horse ain't moving, right?
Yes.
I feel like
Hmm.
they have us tied up to this plastic chair where we think we can't move
Mhm.
because they the way why we're stuck is we're stuck mentally. So we have to unstuck ourselves mentally so that we
Right.
can get together and build our own stuff. Like
Exactly.
we
That's
feel like,
my
oh, we have
whole
to take
point.
over Chrysler or whatever. No, we can start our
We
own.
could.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And make
my
it just
whole
as big, if
point.
not bigger.
Right.
But
Right.
we are still mentally chained, and we're not gonna be unchained until we like literally disconnect and
Listen,
like
great, great point. And that's the same thing that
Yeah.
how I answered your question about the state of black love. It's mentally. All this shit is mentally. Even like the Willie Lynch letter was real. The character or the person may not, if that's arguable, but the letter was real. 400 years of physical slavery, an additional 300 years of mental slavery, accumulated almost 700 years of slavery, up to now almost 1,000 years of slavery, and it's not even 200 years old of the freedom. The Emancipation Proclamation is not even 200 years old. They said stop beating them. They're gonna become rebellious. Get them up here, and then start doing the work for you. Once they start, they love to hear, "Oh, the white man ain't gonna let me do this." They love that because that's confirmation of they do diligence.
Yeah, they want to be the bad guy
Yeah,
because,
they love
like when we was talking about reparations, right? They could have done this stuff a long years and years, decades ago, if they really didn't want to be the bad guy. They could have
if
been
they
like, "Look,
didn't
all
want
right,
that.
we did what we did. We gonna give y'all reparations. That's it. We straight."
Right.
Thank you.
But
Right.
they
And we
want to
don't
be
want
the
to hear
bad
nothing else,
guy.
and we don't want to hear nothing else about it neither after this.
Exactly.
Okay. Speaking of
Right.
reparations, this is a question to all three of you guys. What exactly would be reparations? Is it monetary? Is it solely monetary? Is it just about money? Is it a price tag on grieving? Is it a price tag on the atrocities over almost 7 to 1,000 years, even to this day? Is there a price tag?
I don't even know if it's a price tag, but I know for me, I want money and access and just access to all resources possible, endless access to it,
Right.
But
unlimited health care.
money? Is it solely money?
I don't think it's solely money.
No,
No.
not solely
Neither.
money. No, it's not solely money. No,
I
not
want
at all.
plan.
I want stuff that's I really want the reparations. I want my generation and that generation to
Yeah.
reap those
Basic.
benefits.
Basically,
Create
how I look at it is, give me everything that you benefited from. I want
400
all the
And
benefits
that's
that you
resources
received.
and land.
That's resources, that's
resources.
land, that's opportunity, that's all
Yeah,
of it.
Resources
right.
and land. Resources and land
That's never
produce
runs out.
opportunity. You see,
Yeah,
that's like a sub to resources and land. Resources primarily, you see what I'm saying?
right.
Uh, health benefits. You see what I'm saying? I feel like the primary reparations I want is to live tax free. I shouldn't be
Oh yeah,
taxed in the
Oh,
land if I
look,
was
that's
absolutely not.
or demonized here while already here. And I want all the available resources that y'all accumulated off
right.
this from our labor. I find it very funny for the descendants of slave owners and makers to call the descendants of slaves lazy. How you know we ain't carrying the energy of fatigues? We ain't lazy, we tired. You don't
Right.
even know why we tired.
Exactly. No, but that has been scientifically proved that that is a
Exactly.
thing.
I be
Trauma
knowing.
is passed down through DNA.
Yeah, as
Yes.
a form of PTSD. I don't even know why I want to
Hmm.
go to work. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. Because your ancestors on top of your ancestors that stand on top of your shoulders have been worked night and day. You know how much cotton you gotta pick for it to be heavy?
Yeah. I mean,
You know how much cotton you gotta pick
Yo.
for it to be heavy?
Not on Juneteenth. Not on
right.
Juneteenth.
Yo.
Yeah.
Not on Juneteenth.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, and if reparations was delivered, would that end racism? Because look what and the slaves did.
That look,
You
no, that's gonna make it worse. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's gonna
feel
Yeah,
me?
definitely.
yeah. It's gonna make
You feel
Look
me?
at the
Because
freaking
you take
hell with the
reparations
president and all that
and you
stuff.
compare that
Right.
to the
All we got
emancipation,
is a day in they man.
that like the slaves
Yeah.
were more worse off being free. Now
Yeah.
that accumulated racism, separations, segregation, the Jim Crow, this, that, and the third, all that.
Oh, okay, now this is something I've always thought about, right? Because I have this reparation. Like I be having like these reparation fantasies, and
Me too.
You
Definitely.
ain't the
right.
only one.
So in one of my fantasies, the like I just said like, what if like they were like, okay, we're gonna give you reparations, basically a plot like an area that would be like all black city. But in order for you to receive it, you have to be willing to go there. It's like once you go there, it's like you no longer have passport to like here. Like you have to live now in like this all black utopia.
I go.
And you're
I'll
gonna
go.
have some blacks that don't want to come, but I feel like the blacks that don't want to come, we don't want them there.
I don't want you to, right. We ain't on the same wavelength. Yep.
For real,
I like that.
for real, for real. Now that's a true statement. That's a true statement because, but that also comes from um tribalism. Like Africa, the continent Africa consists of so many countries that tribalism was a means of survival, and I think they
It
weaponized tribalism.
yeah, and that's how they got on top because we were so tribal. Because
Right.
if you look at history, they were fighting like when the whites started coming over. Africa was fighting them, but still fighting like other tribes. And I'm like, at what point did y'all be like, nah, we gotta band together
Yeah.
because we got a bigger problem on the horizon? But they weren't able
Right.
to like see that.
But sometimes you don't know how much you need to come together until you meet a common enemy. You see what I'm saying? It's like, hold on, we
But
might
they had a common enemy, and they still were fighting amongst each other.
until it surfaced, and then business got into it. That all blacks earn blacks and this,
Hmm.
that, and the third was tricked. How can these whites come and just trick so many black warriors into the bondage of slavery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? All that
Right.
rhetoric is part of history. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I feel like, and I think it all comes down to the weaponization of tribalism. They turned that everything that was for us, they turned this against it. Tribalism was a means of survival. The Lee tribe, the Pharrell tribe, the Kima tribe, the Dip tribe. If we come to common denominators, you got sugar, you got tobacco, you got flour, you got uh, sugar cane. Oh, I need this, I need that. Now I'm about to come take that because my
Yeah.
arm's a little bit bigger. And now when I come take that, your captives become indigent servants.
Mm.
Now those indigent servants become bartering tools, the bartering system by demand, supply and demand. We used to spares and rocks and everything like that. Now we see sticks with fire that they call muskets. Boom! Oh, I need like 10 of them. Well, let me get 2 of them. Those 2 of them turned into 20 of them. Those 20 of them was tricked and could get 200 more of them. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Mm.
it's all part of the historical fact that it was through trickery and deceit. That's all in their nature. Trickery and
Mm.
deceit.
Yeah.
Agree? Disagree?
I
Yeah.
mean,
Nah.
No,
I,
I see your point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely see them.
I get it. I get it. I have a question, right?
Hmm.
For anybody that want to answer. So, being that we all kind of discussed what we've been discussing black love, and being that we kind of discussed the state of where that relationship is, what is it? What is it that it will really take in order, like what does successful black love look like? Like what does that look like? And I don't mean amongst family, because some people we see the posts all the time, family ain't family, blood ain't thicker, so people don't look at family.
Behavior though.
I mean your relationship with the person that you trying to build your future with, your eternity with, or who you see yourself being with. Like what does that entail? Like how does that look?
Mm.
Well, you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Okay.
I hear that, ladies.
I feel like what Loosh was saying before, like what are our examples? Like what do we have to go by to like give us a definition of black love, right? So my definition of what I have is when I do my research and I see the communities like the Tulsa, Oklahomas, and like the communities where black people were thriving, the black dollar was circulating amongst each other. We had our own hospitals, our own banks, our own recreation. I feel like that to me is the purest, most simplest form of what black love looks like. Because in order for all of that to happen in those individual homes, there have to be some type of love going on that is generating out into the community to make everybody else so successful. And I feel like we, if anything, if we're ever going to see it again, we got like we haven't even really. And I mean, some people could say maybe Atlanta is, but not really. But
Right.
we haven't still replicated like another Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all those. Like, why? When we have so many, there's a lot more black people with money. But why
Right.
aren't we? Why don't we have those communities?
Mm.
Right. More black families.
Mhm.
Kima.
What you think,
Yeah.
Kim?
Oh man. So for me now, I didn't have the example of what black love looks like growing up. So therefore, I had to take the accountability to unlearn a lot of things, which I am continuously unlearning about. So I see people like, I definitely don't look at like, I guess, celebrity or influencers as my example of what black love is. I do start from foundations. I try to find like people within my church that's been married 40 plus years. And they're only, they're probably in their 60s, 70s. So I'm taking wisdom and listening, watching an older generation before me that they probably had that example of what black love and black family unit is, because I can't learn it from my current generation. I can't. Like, half of my friends already been married and divorced and we ain't even 40 yet. So I can't. So that's for me. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of, listening to what men want as far as what they're looking for black love, and then what I see myself as, what the example of being black love as a female. So showing more love to myself and to understand what kind of love that I need to receive from a man. So it's a lot of unlearning that I'm doing, a lot of healing that needs to be done in order for me to be like, okay, this is what black love looks like. I can't say it's like a Sierra and Russell. Like, no. Like, that's probably their example of black love, but that's not for me. So, yeah, and I think that's where it really starts. Like Loosh was saying earlier, it starts with the mental, and it starts with you. If you want black love in your life, if you want, you want to be that example, you have to start with yourself first. And that's where the love starts.
Right.
Absolutely. I totally agree. You can't love nobody if you don't love yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like in brief, black love looks like the opposite of black hate. Point blank period. We know what black hate is. It's easy to identify what black hate looks like. It's easily to be handled. Black hate is easily be handled. Kill them off, lock them up, separate them, etc., etc., etc. But black love is a different mechanism. It's widespread, and it starts off with genuine intent. Black love is the flawless flaw. You see what I'm saying? It's the flawless flaw. It's the arguing, but getting over the argument. It's the hurdles, but getting over the hurdles. It's the communication. It's the listening. It consists of all these things. Like they say, ain't no such thing as a perfect relationship. But doesn't that make it perfect? If every relationship isn't perfect, but wouldn't that make it perfect? The strive for perfection? It say nobody is perfect. And Dip already said it's 4 things and 4 bodies. Nothing, nobody. Something, somebody. Anything, anybody. Everything, everybody. And that all has to do with us. That's the 4 corners. That's the 4 corners of self. It has to do with self love. A lot of black hate come from self-hate.
Yeah.
The moment
And a
we
lot of it's
self,
generational trauma.
God is love, and we in His likeness and image. So if you can
Mm,
love what you see in that mirror, it will be easy to pour that same love to someone else.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's just how I feel about it. And let me ask a question.
So hold on, let me answer. Let me answer real quick. What I think
Okay, go ahead, Dick.
one of the main solutions is quick. I think women should trust their men more. And when I say trust their men more, I say if you're willing to be in a relationship with this man, to open up to this man, sometimes you have to let him lead. You feel me? And it's okay to be a good follower sometimes. And with trust, you have to trust that he won't lead you astray. Sometimes a man be trying to lead, but he meets that with resistance. You feel me? But a lot of the times his intentions are good. And he has your best intentions at heart. Like it's not a competition. We're on the same team. Even if it is a competition, we on the same team, focus, like you said, the goal. You feel me? But I feel like sometimes, most times, women should let men lead. And if he leads you astray, then shame on him. You feel me? But a lot of times I feel like communication is key. And if you trust this man, like trust him. You feel me? Not saying, and that this has nothing to do, when I use the word trust, this has nothing to do with infidelity. You know what I mean? When I mean trust. And I'm sure as adults, we all understand what I mean. You know what I mean? But if you trust him with your heart and you want to be led, then follow. You feel me? Like then follow.
I
I feel
agree.
like trust.
Yeah, same.
Is best when it's not questioned.
Right.
You know what I mean? Love is at its best when it's not questioned.
Right.
Respect is at its best when it's not questioned. The moment it becomes questionable, then everything needs answers. You know what I mean? Like men, we have that innate compass. We have a genetic compass with us that allow us to lead. And the woman, according to the biblical scriptures or whatever, it was to help me. But a man that ain't doing nothing don't need help to do nothing. Dominance and submission, it goes hand in hand. The true power and dominance comes from the submission that the woman displays because she has that much confidence in this man. And once that confidence gets broken or questionable, the way women are set up, and this is just my philosophy, that would ruin the entire species to come because she was that invested into this one individual. It would ruin the entire species to come. Oh, I ain't dealing with niggas no more. And I said this earlier too before, Dick, right? When bitches and niggas get together, they bring bitch ass niggas on this planet and nigga acting bitches on this planet. But when that true queenmanship and that true kingmanship, that genuine intention come together, that's what they hear.
That's powerful.
Like this right here is an example of black love at its highest form. The listening, the commenting, the respective perspective, the communicative skills, and it's that this is an example of it. And it has to. This is why a lot of the ignorant shit get plastered over the internet. I'm sorry, the internet, not the internet. Well, it is
the internet. I just want to say something to Cool Dip.
That's
Like
me.
seriously, like that comment that you just said, you don't understand how good that made me feel because I was starting to think that that mindset doesn't exist anymore. Like seriously, so it's so refreshing to see like there are still black men out there that have that mindset, and that's like I just wanted to give you your kudos for that.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I try to speak. Listen, I try to speak as honestly as possible. Like when I'm speaking, like listen, when I'm speaking, listen, most of the time when we speak, you feel me? I try to speak freely. I'm not speaking from an audience, and I'm speaking to y'all like we all sitting right here in the same room.
Right, and
Feel
it
me?
felt
So,
that way. It felt very
yeah, you
intimate.
feel me? Like, so it's really authentic in spirit, like we say. You feel me? Because I don't have anything to gain trying to front for y'all. You feel me? Like, because I
Right.
gotta live in my truth every day. You feel me? So, and people know me. You feel me? Like, so for me to try to be coming on here and acting crazy and saying something phony or portraying something that I'm not, I definitely can't do that. You feel me? So thank you.
Right.
I definitely will speak honest, and if you do come on again, it's always honest conversation, and I try to
Yeah.
say things that make
Absolutely.
sense.
And
Mhm.
it's definitely factual.
Right.
Like it's good men still exist, good women still exist. It's just that the propaganda that's been put out there to keep us
Right.
under under the scope, and we got to dig. You know what I'm saying? The deeper you dig, to find the jewels you find. You know what I mean? So we have to continue, and this is really the primary of our platform to put that type of mentality out there. Like we still out here.
So,
We
but it's
still
Right.
meant, the system, son. The system is meant to keep us away from each other. You feel me?
back.
Like
Exactly.
Absolutely.
the system, son. The system
Absolutely.
is meant. Think about the things that we see. We see BBLs twerking. Like that's the stuff. Even if we don't, that's not the. Even if that's not what our algorithms go for, you can't help but to be plastered with this image of what you should be attracted to. You feel me? Like
Right.
us as older men, you feel me? Like physical, we passed a point of physical attraction. That's
Right.
also a thing, but like other things, other mental stimulation is key. You feel me? Like
That's
because
definitely
Is
key. That's
required. Yeah.
definitely key.
right,
The
you feel me?
Yeah.
physical
So
attracts
that
the
shit don't like for the real ones, that shit don't really work on us because it takes
Right.
more. Conversation is an aphrodisiac. You feel me? Like
absolute.
in everybody
Yes.
hold the conversation. It take you to get to you got to go through things to be able to get to this point. But so it's we out here, man. They trying to keep us away from each other.
It's the time though. This
And it's the time,
time.
and this is the perfect place for this
Yeah,
because men
Right.
need to hear this, and women need to hear this too. Like even speaking for myself, because I was out here dating, like I took a break, but I recognize that yeah, damn, yeah, there's guys out there like Dip that think like Loosh. That is guys that will mentally like they're beyond the physical things of what they want in a female. They're looking more at mental stimulation. And I notice as I'm having conversations with men and hear from their experience, they're like, when a chick open their mouth, oh my God. And so that's why they feel like, it's a limitation on us, the good women that's out here. And then as women, we thinking like, oh, the men are not out here. No, they're out. No, they're really out here. And it's a lot. It's a good amount of them. But you guys are so shut down now. It's so, and I get it, and I understand it. So
and
that's
that's
where the
why
safe
I asked.
space comes about.
That's why I asked about that safe space.
Yeah.
Like
And come from your friends too. You got you
right.
got you got
Oh,
you got you
yeah.
got
You guys
to
know who your
understand
friends are.
that the company that you keep of a birds of a feather flock together. Like you gotta understand, like if it ain't in your social environment, like behavior is dictated by your atmosphere. You know,
Right.
it
Absolutely.
could be plenty of times where your girl might say that dude ain't for you, or your dude will say I don't really want like you hanging with that type of shorty because they may see something that you may not see, and that got to be taken into perspective all the way around the board. Like black love is such an essential that we're actually scared of.
Yeah.
Like we're
It's
actually
so
scared.
powerful.
It's
Black love is power.
remember what I
It's
said
power.
earlier of a good black man and Jesus knocked on your door right now. You wouldn't be able to understand who is who. You wouldn't be able to recognize who is who. This Jesus, what? You got all the descriptions of him, all the characteristics of him, but if you see him with your eyes, you wouldn't be able to recognize him. And that's the same thing with good black women. Our
Mm.
like the black woman right now, we in a matriarch like state of time right now. Our woman is
Yeah.
being weaponized against the black man, and I always said that it's the black man that has to re-enter the home because we was the one that was snatched out, taken out, made to look scared or weak in front of our woman with these fearful mechanisms. So when we kind of come back in, the nigga ain't shit narrative been so long. It's like, how dare you pull my coattail? Like, we gotta
Yeah.
still love each other. We have to deal with each other, even if we don't like each other. We just have to display that because so many people want us, including a lot of us, not together.
Right.
Not together.
Keep the bigger picture in mind.
That is not only
Yeah.
Miss Lee recognizing the mentality of men right now, it's also the men recognizing the mentality of the women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This type of conversation is subject not to go viral because it's too much
Yeah.
fun. Ain't enough ignorance in it. Ain't
Right.
nobody up
Right.
there and bitching and nigging and twerking and ah. It's just fruitful for the mind, but we need something fruitful for the eye and the mind. Because if we can
Right.
see it, we can feel it, we can obtain it, we can act on it, we can behave accordingly towards it, etc., etc., etc. And more relationship. This is a relationship, not a relation boat. Foreign, domestic, intimate, platonic, whatever the case may be. We have to be able to continue to put this type of energy out there. Like the revolution got to be televised nowadays.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people, I just want our people to just be willing to unlearn stuff. And they know it's not resonating with them, not working for them, and haven't been working since they mama, grandmama, mama.
But
yeah,
do that, though? How do we
it
do
starts.
that?
I feel like people need to start taking their own ownership and accountability for certain things, and just be willing to just unpack. We don't want to do the work. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary to face certain traumas and face certain things, or try to really understand why we can't attract who we want to attract, why we're not so focused on the black love or black marriage. We're shying away from marriage and all of those things. So I think it starts with the individual. It starts with the individual. That's what it works.
Quick question: do you think marriage is necessary in today's time?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Dip.
That. Inflation.
I would love to be married. Necessary is a strong word. Like necessary is a very strong word. You feel me? Necessary, I don't believe. I don't think so. I believe essential maybe, but necessary, nah. I mean, because
I like essential.
yeah, I mean necessary, nah. We don't really need to be married because the day I listen, the day after you are married, is your love gonna be different? Is it gonna feel different? Are you gonna feel closer to this person the next day, like after you whatever? Like you going on the honeymoon? Listen, you going y'all going to have newlywed sex, and y'all been together for 12 years already. Like, come on, bro. So pretty much y'all just going on vacation. You feel me? If you want to go on vacation, just go on vacation. You feel me? If you want to have a get together, have a get together. You feel me? Like to bring family and friends together. But you can't take that away from people. If that's what they want to do, then that's fine. Like I do want to be married, but God isn't done working on me, ladies and gentlemen. You feel me? So I haven't reached that point, but I'm that's definitely
at least
that
you're
I would
working
love
towards
to
it.
do. You feel me? But necessary, I don't think so.
You feel like marriage can be rushed? Can marriage be too early?
Absolutely. You know how many people get married and still haven't figured out who they are as an individual? Now you gotta live. Now you gotta live life as two people. Or man, hell yeah! Like
I think
that's what. Listen, I think that's what leads to
have,
divorce. That's what leads to divorce. Women look. Mostly women say they've outgrown or they've turned into something that their husband isn't a part of, or they've outgrown their husband and they aren't the same person they were when they met their husband. Like So we don't men don't say shit like that. Excuse my language. Men do not say stuff like that. You feel me? But we so it's that leads to divorce, being married too soon. You could definitely rush it. And you probably doing it for the wrong reasons at that point, I think.
I think people should get married when they like in their 30s, mid 30s, when they
I
have
agree.
attained enough life to distinguish. You see what I'm saying? Like getting married too early and yet to develop or what you like, what's your dietary or whatever the case may be. And it's a pro and a con to it because you getting married young can also allow y'all to grow up together, knowing each other.
Right.
We start looking like each other. You know what I mean?
But
So
so
it has the pros and its cons.
when you get older, so you may learn that certain things you might not like about this person. Like that's the crazy
But
part. Like,
is marriage a contract that comes with terms and conditions?
but that's why
So those
doing it
terms and
early.
conditions is something that you signed up to when it comes to that contract. Like at that, like I don't like this, I don't do this, you don't do this. Okay, you go over these terms and conditions. You agree to the terms and conditions, and then you sign the contract before family, friends, and God.
So, but still, like, I disagree. I disagree. I
It's a
definitely disagree.
contract. Is marriage not a contract?
It
No,
is.
it
It's a
ain't really.
binding contract at
It.
that.
I mean, look, it is. You feel me? But still, like, nah, man, like that. No sir, Bob. No sir, Bob. You feel me? Like,
But that's the thing, see, before you get married, that's when the compromise and stuff come in. Like, so if you don't like, say for instance, she, I don't know, snores when she's sleeping, you be like, yo, I can't take it. I mean, is that the
What if
deal
that was
breaker
a
for you?
part of the terms and conditions that
That's
you
part of the
agreed
terms
to
and
sign to?
conditions. Right. It's like, but she snores and drools or whatever, but she shows up in this way and that way. So that's the term. You gotta look at it like that. She ain't gonna come perfect, like to whatever that looks like for you.
I feel
I'm
like
just saying.
in today's time, people are too caught up in the wedding and not into the marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They too caught up into the
They
ceremonial type thing,
the
and
all the emotions, I feel like it's all the emotions and the feels. They so wrapped up in the emotional part of it.
so
They're not
listen.
looking.
If I told my lady, babe, let's go to the justice of the peace, just to do it and say we did it, and just to get that, you know what I mean? She listen. It might not be no more Loosh and Dip show. You heard, like, look, she might turn my cable off. You heard, like, bro, how dare you? And even if she said yeah, she would probably still want to do
who,
something.
who benefits from the marriage?
Women.
Of
Right,
course
look,
you'll
you saw
say
So,
rain.
like,
You
so
saw rain face. Rain said what?
hold on. If women benefit for the marriage, then why is it that women who don't propose?
I ain't even say women. I mean, I don't benefit. I'm
Like
like,
if
totally.
women are
So
the
wait, Kima.
primary
So wait, Kima.
beneficiaries,
Wait. Kima, you think
Okay.
men benefit from the marriage the most?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's. I'm on the fence with both, but to say overall women benefit from it, mm, no. I think we both do in some type of way. But then you talking about women proposing? Hell no. No, 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 no,
that's what I'm saying.
no.
If it's the man who chooses his wife and she benefits more often, right?
But what is the benefits?
But what benefit? Yeah, that's I'm like, what's the benefit? I know
Like
what
what?
the man
Like
benefit.
The same, the
like what do
same, the
you
same.
think the benefits are?
What for a woman?
Hmm.
The benefit. Okay. What as the marriage or like the
Yes.
wedding totality? The
The
marriage.
marriage.
Oh, the
What
providing,
the
the
marriage?
protection, anything, any useful activity outside of sex, they benefit the most. Outside of sex, how relevant would the woman be in a man's life?
But if you okay, so let's go back to what part a woman plays, right? I feel like women multiply whatever you give us. So if you have a good woman and right now you the manager at your job,
Enough said. Enough
she's
said.
gonna
Enough
help you
said.
get to that next level.
Enough
Now
said.
to
Enough
become that
said.
CEO.
Yo, enough said. The fact that you
You give
said
her, you put a
multiply.
seed in her body, she's gonna
Yo,
make you
listen.
a whole
Listen.
legacy.
Yo,
She's gonna
listen.
make it so
Hold
that
on.
your legacy
Hold
lives
on.
on forever.
Hold on. It,
Yes.
the fact that you said women will multiply anything you give us, I get it. I get it. That's why they say a happy wife, a happy life. That's what that's it.
Yeah. Give
I
it to
get
us
it.
so we
I
can
get it.
multiply.
That was a good answer. We will multiply anything that you if you provide for us with.
Absolutely.
Like I get that. I get that. That's
That
a good.
good woman will do that. A good woman will use whatever resource you're providing. Will flip it.
You'll flip it.
If you're not a good
That's not
woman,
enough.
that's not enough.
No, like that's not enough. Like, y'all can flip. What you mean flip it? I don't need you to flip it. Like, I don't need you to flip it. The only
Multiply
resource,
it.
the only thing that I need for you to multiply, and I don't mean this in any irresponsible way, is my offspring. Look, it's my offspring and my name. That's it. Really. You feel me? Like that's really all I really need you to multiply. As a responsible man, I'm sure most women want a man that can provide for them. The ideal life for a woman, they would want to stay at home and be a nurturer. You feel me? Like, I mean, there are women that would say, "Oh, I don't want to stay at home. I want to work." But if a man has the means to provide for you, to stay home, and to be the wife role that you want to be, I mean, like most men would want a traditional wife. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but even with that job, being a
mhm.
traditional wife,
Is a
being a
job.
nurturer,
Is a job.
that's a big job.
It is. And that's why, listen, and that's why
Is it a
if y'all
job
ever
or
quit, listen,
responsibility?
and that's why if y'all quit, y'all get the best severance package, right? Like, look, if y'all leave, listen,
Or
if y'all
responsibility.
leave out of that marriage, right? Guess what y'all get to take? Y'all get to take the kid with y'all. Y'all get to take
Sometimes that's
the
not the
car.
package. Keep
No,
the
I'm
kid,
saying,
bro.
but no, listen,
Listen,
not
right? Keep the
all, but
kids.
sometimes, listen,
Keep the kid.
not all, but sometimes people take the kid, use them as leverage.
Mhm.
You feel me? Not saying
Yeah.
that people should do that, but that's not even where I was going with it. What I was saying is, if the dad loves the kid, I mean, it's our kid. The dad might want custody. Y'all might want to split custody. The judge gonna say, you know what? The kid go with the mom. You feel me? The car is going with the mom. Dad, you got to get out that crib and go live in a hotel until you can find somewhere to live. Guess who getting that? Mom getting that. Alimony, mom getting that. You feel me? Like, so most of the things are catered to you guys and beneficial for you guys. When we say you guys
Yeah.
benefit most, that's really what we mean as far as that resources as well. You feel me? Because
Okay.
men do have leeway to some resources that women can't get to, and you know we provide those same resources for you guys. I believe.
Hmm.
By resources, I mean money. You feel me? And by money, I mean in a traditional way that if your wife makes it easy for you to go out and work hard without having to worry about anything, you won't have a problem. My wife can get my check direct deposit to her account as long as she give me peace and let me do what I want to do. Let me provide for you and give you the lifestyle that you want. That's not a problem. You feel me? But I feel like women don't have the pressure that we have in society as far as standards and practice and going out into the world and doing things. Not saying you guys have an extremely hard time. And I commend you for being as strong as you are because you guys are very strong. But I was about to say the threats that we come across is different. The things that we have to deal with is very different. Some of these things to some men are intimidating. You know what I mean? So
Right.
a lot of men don't really know how to be men out in the world. You feel me?
Mm.
They just out here going along with the flow and doing what they need to do. So it's tough. You feel me? Men have a hard time, and we appreciate you, ladies, because you do make it easier in some regards. But in some regards, y'all make our headaches worse as well. Like so, we
Balance.
definitely appreciate you guys.
Vice versa.
Would you
It
say
works
that
both
one more
ways.
time? Would you
I
say
say it
Ray?
works both ways. Sometimes you are headaches.
It does.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we need each other, and that's the bottom line.
And that's about, yes, that's what we need to understand as a community of Black people, that we need each other. Like we need this family dynamic.
Right. And that's
So
what's most important. That's what's most important. I feel like that's what gets lost in the Black love conversation.
Hmm.
Us, needing each other. A lot of times it becomes battle of the sexes. Well, women more finger pointing than answers. You know what I mean? And
right.
Right.
we try to find answers, man, because we as a community and the people that we talk to, and I want to say the people that check us out, we are getting old. You feel me? And time waits for no man. The older we get, the more I realize how fast it goes. Like the day
Right.
seems so much shorter, the years go by so much faster. You know what I mean? And it seems like people just dying young all the time. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I feel we really need to embrace each other because we are our biggest support. You feel me? Like so, we really need to embrace each other and do what we need to do as a community, and stop with more, have less of the finger pointing and more answer based conversations. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Like I appreciate you, ladies. We spoke. Nobody really talked over each other except for the time when we got to the point about um who y'all get dressed for. Because I'm a die. On that, listen, I'm a die on that hill. You feel me? I'm definitely gonna die on that hill. For the most part, you know what I mean. It was I feel like it was a good conversation. I hope
Yes.
that
This is
Loosh is okay. I don't see him. You feel me? But I think
Right. I don't know either.
right. I think he's okay. His phone, look, one of his devices might have died over there, but
Right, and that's what I was about to say too, real quick before mine die. That
right.
I really enjoyed you guys. I also do want to let you guys know that I'm an author. My book is called Manifesting with Mind Movies. It's available on Amazon, and
yes.
basically, it's a guide to just like we all following the script. Now, regardless if you want to believe that or not, you're following somebody's rules. So my book is just teaching you how to write your own script to your life and just achieve the goals that you want to achieve in life and live the life that you want and not that you've been told you should be living.
Okay. And also we will add a link in the description of this video
Okay.
to her book of where you can find it and how you can interact with Rain Lee manifesting with mind movies. And also Kima, one time again,
Yay.
do you want to let them know your podcast and a little bit more about what you got going on?
Yeah, sure. So I am a certified yoga instructor. If y'all didn't know, my business is called Fitvational Yoga. You can follow me on YouTube at Fitvational Yoga. That's all one word. My podcast is called Taking Up Space, Healing and Dealing. It's just
Yes, I love this.
yeah, it's just a show about me discussing about going through my own healing journey and just holding space for others. We're having different topics and discussions about what healing looks like, the good, the bad, the ugly. So you
I
can follow
love
me.
that.
Thank you.
I'm
On
definitely
all
gonna check
three.
that out. And I
Yeah.
recently just got into yoga. I love yoga. It's feel like it centered me. It's like changed
Yes.
my perspective on so much. So I'm definitely gonna check you out.
Oh, yes. Definitely connect with me. And you can follow my Instagram. Is I period am period KEE. I have all my yoga content, all the different ways you
Okay.
can reach out to me. And my TikTok is I be Kiki. But you could go to my Instagram, you'll find all my business stuff and everything there. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm also an author. So I
Yes.
have
Tell us.
so I am an author as well. I have released a memoir last year, Tears I Should Have Cried, a memoir on holding space for healing. So that
Wow.
my podcast is pretty much based off my book. And it's just talking
Okay.
about the past few years, how I'm going through my own healing journey and how I'm navigating through it. I'm talking about my past, my present, and what I vision myself to be in the future.
I know
And that's
Yo,
that's
it.
listen,
right. I love it.
y'all ladies are so dope, man. And that's the reason why
Yeah,
we had
Dip,
y'all
I love
on.
you, bro.
I really appreciate y'all. Kima, I'm gonna put the link for your book, your
Yes.
webcast, webcast, excuse me.